you doing, guys? Today I'm working on the battery tray. And the reason for working on the battery tray is where the Magnum 10 is going to sit in the frame on the 857. I got it pushed back far enough in the frame where there's really no room to put, or no more room anymore, to put the stock battery into position. That means that I need to relocate the battery. I was thinking about or looking around for a small like ATV or sports, vehicle kind of battery, something that was physically a little smaller, but I couldn't find anything that particularly I liked or what I thought would work just right. So with that, I said, I got to figure out where to put the battery. And this is how I'm relocating the battery on the 857. So the stock location is here in this position right here. But with the like I said, with the motor, you can see where I traced out the oil pan roughly. This distance from here to here is too small. Plus, with the piggyback starter motor on the Magnum 10, not a starter generator, which would be higher, there's just no room for the battery. So then I said, well, maybe I'll sling the battery under the frame. But to me, that would just look hokey. I was like looking at it, measuring it. It would fit up underneath that real nice, but I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to do something else. So I said, I'm going to stuff it in here. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. This is the space underneath the seat pan. There's plenty of height from the base of the sheet metal to the base of the fenders. So I got enough room in there to do that, but I don't have any way to really secure it. So I tried to figure out a better way to do it. And let me see if I can get this thing to focus better. And now sorry, my camera's just freaking out here. So what I had to do is I had to remove the dipstick and the fitting for the 8-speed transmission. I got this nice flat style brass plug. And then I have this tube here for the lift cable, plus the bolt that holds the sheet metal to the tranny case itself. So I can use those as support points, but I can't just throw the battery in there. So that's the reason why I have the stock 857 battery tray. And what I've done is I put it in my press and I just pressed out the bolts that were spot welded into this position and bolted the tray to the frame itself. Now I'm going to reuse these and I'll show you why, or show you how, I should say. I'm going to take the original 857 battery tray minus the bolts, okay? And I'm going to actually put it right in there, just like that. And then I'm going to take the bolts, drill the 5/16 holes. I'll make sure it's all nice and level. And I'll just use those bolts. Whoops, sorry. I'll use those bolts actually to mount it to the center section here. Put one right there. Drill the holes through everything, tighten it all down. Do the same here. The nuts will be on this side. And then the nice flat section here won't mar up the battery. I'll have plenty of room to put the band that screws on, or nuts, the nuts, to really tighten the battery into the tray. But there is one more modification I do have to do. The battery is actually physically more, or I should say physically wider than the distance from this sheet metal to that sheet metal. So I'll have to make a little cut along this line and over, and a little cut over on this side and over. And I'll split the difference so this notch, if you want to so call it, will be even on both sides. I'll take a little piece of vacuum hose, put that in there. That'll protect the side of the plastic battery against the steel. Tighten down the band. I'll run my battery cables underneath, because this doesn't come all the way up to the top. Run the battery cables right over. I might have to poke a little hole in the, the bottom of the tunnel, or the base, the sheet metal base that goes over this hole. May have to poke a little hole there for the two battery cables to go through. They'll come through under in this area right there. It'll be all nice and clean. And then you just be able to close the fender kit. The fenders will go down, lock into position, and that is it. the battery is totally relocated, and actually I think will look even better than it did stock, because the battery and the wires and everything will all be hidden underneath the C-pan. All right, guys, hope you found that little tidbit interesting. Maybe something you could do on your tractor if you're going to do a custom deal. If you have a suggestion, maybe something I might have forgotten, maybe a better way to do it, by all means, please leave a comment below. As you know, I welcome those kinds of suggestions. I evaluate every single one when people email me and stuff like that. And if it's a better idea than mine, I use it. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll talk to you soon.